work in the Writing Center at UALR, and I'm Kelsey.
I'm Jason.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Josh.
We want to explore how interns feel about peer reviewing with other interns in the Writing Center and how this affects their growth as writers.
This is the UWC archive and temporarily our recording studio where we've had people come in and give us their confessions.
Let's take a look inside.
I have a confession to make.
I have a confession to make.
I have a confession to make.
I have a confession to
I
make.
have a confession to make.
I have a confession
I have a confession to make.
I don't use the services at the UWC partly because one of my weaknesses as a writer is procrastination. I end up cramming everything at the end. Another reason that I don't use the UWC for my own personal writing is that I believe I still have a tendency to be perfectionist, and where I'll be more revealing about my earlier drafts with student or with my advisor, I have a harder time showing earlier drafts probably with my peers, and that's definitely a weakness.
I would hope that they would give me criticism. I would be willing to accept that. Like it's kind of what I want to hear is to see what flaws I have. So I'm not afraid to know if something's wrong or if something needs to be worked on. I'm willing to show it to someone.
I think I'm just too intimidated because I'm surrounded by graduate students who are really doing amazing things and actual writing majors, and I'm only a minor, so I don't feel like I'm in the same field. I don't compete in the same arena, so I'm a little intimidated because I'm not a full-time writer.
The tutoring services here at the University Writing Center have helped me because I've become less reluctant to share my work, and through collaborating with other writers, it's really enhanced my writing, learning even different types of writing and skills that I've obtained purely through just peer conferencing.
Getting your work reviewed by other interns is helpful because it not only helps you with mechanical issues, but it exposes you to new ideas, new ways of doing things. You're able to experiment with your own writing.
Well, I don't know. It's maybe partially because I don't want some of the people that work in the Writing Center reading what I'm writing. And also, I guess I still kind of feel like some of the people in the Writing Center probably aren't qualified enough, I guess. I mean, that's kind of makes me sound pompous, but I feel like some of the people that work in the Writing Center, it's their first semester and they haven't had a lot of training. And so if I go to sit down with them, they're just kind of doing things that I would already do on my own because I've worked in the Writing Center, so I know what they're going to say.
I think that I don't use the Writing Center now for my own work just because I have a collection of colleagues that I always trust, and I always go to them first for the writing that I'm working on.
Yes, just last week, in fact, I had another intern read something I wrote for advanced persuasive writing. I ended up not doing any of those things yet because it was kind of last minute, but I just wanted someone else to have feedback.
I don't really use it because I didn't know it existed until right now, a couple of weeks ago, so I've never really used it yet. I may later on for my final project. We'll see.
In the University Writing Center, we have a pretty inclusive, diverse environment, and there's such a level of comfort here. I never felt any reluctance to share my writing with my fellow peers.
Well, I have used the tutoring services a couple of times, but usually I put things off to the last minute, so by the time I get it done, it's actually too late, so I just kind of do it myself.
I do not use the tutoring services this semester because ironically I don't have any essays assigned, but if I did have essays, I would definitely use the services.
I think that I just forget, or maybe I don't know. I haven't really ever thought about using the tutoring services for myself.
Most times I do, because if I'm here a lot of times and there's not much
going on, then of course I will go and work on my own assignments.
I am reluctant showing showing other tutors my writing. It depends on the writing assignment though. If it's something extremely personal, then I don't really too much care about the grammar or mechanics of it. And it's just more so of me expressing how I'm feeling at the time. But if it's something for class, I'm not reluctant so much as to let someone else use it or read it, not use it.
No, I presently don't. And the reason why is because I've never really felt like I need the services, and I've just kind of, I guess because of scheduling, I haven't been here, so I just kind of ride on the run and take care of it myself.
I mean, sometimes I have the concern of, I guess, you know, just the typical concern that it's not good enough, but it's not really a fear, and it's, even though it's a concern, it's not, I never hesitate to bring it in. It's not daunting or anything. It's just a concern, but I realize the purpose of the conference is to improve it, so.
I don't really use the tutoring services for my own work, but every now and then, if I'm in here and I happen to be working on a paper, I'll ask somebody. I think I'm reluctant mostly because as a tutor you kind of feel like you should have it all together, and when another writer or tutor is looking at your work and they point out your mistakes, you're kind of like, oh wow, I don't. At the same time it helps you grow, but it points out your weaknesses.
I was interested in doing this project because I myself, I have a lot of insecurities about my writing and having other people read it. Before I was an intern in here, I would actually bring my papers in here and get help and have people write in suggestions and everything. But actually after I started interning in here, it was a different ballgame because I got to know these people and I was afraid of them reading my work, that they're going to think that I'm not smart enough to actually help other people that come in there that need help with their papers.
I am interested, and I was interested in this project because I want to know how we can make our tutoring and collaboration in our writing center better.
The reason I wanted to be involved in this project is I like video work, number one, but also I thought it was a really interesting subject. I worked in the Writing Center for 5 semesters, and the first 2 semesters I never had anybody look at any of my papers. I was kind of self-conscious. It wasn't until I applied for graduate school that I felt the need to get my peers involved. And if I hadn't applied to graduate school, I don't know if I ever would have done a peer review. So.
I'm interested in working on this project because for too long I avoided having conferences with my fellow interns because I was afraid of what they would think about my writing. I was afraid that they would judge me and perceive that maybe I shouldn't be working in here because my work isn't perfect. But it's only been in this past semester, my second semester, that I've really gotten comfortable with the other interns as I've gotten to know them better, and I feel really comfortable with sharing my work, and I've just come to realize what a great benefit is right at my fingertips. And in turn, I feel like I've really learned that conferencing with the other interns allows me to be a better tutor for my clients. And so it's just really a win-win situation. I want to share the good news with other people.